everyone, welcome back to How to Train Your Gavin. I'm going to be doing my February TBR in this video. There are a couple of readathons happening in February that I want to take part of. So the first one is Polarthon, which is hosted by Jade from JD Reads. There are team mascots for this round of Polarthon, which is happening from February 1st to February 7th. And I happen to be one of the team mascots. I am Team Walrus. So if you want to join the winning team, then it is Team Walrus, just letting you know. But I also want to give a huge shout out to Danny for sending me this incredible walrus mug. It's so cute. It is such a cute walrus as well. Like, just look at its little face. I love it so much. This is an amazing mug. Thank you. So there are 3 other team mascots as well. There is Sasha from the Wild Sasha, who is Team Arctic Fox. There is Aaron from Booked and Busy, who is Team Polar Bear. And Mollie from Mind of Mollie, who is Team Penguin. So I will leave Jade's announcement video in the description box if you want to check that out. It is essentially a readathon where you read polar fantasies. Or anything like polar-esque, really. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do with my TBR game today. I'm going to try and pick between 2 different books to help me for the prompts for Team Walrus, but I'll go through that in a little bit. There is also Blackathon, which is being hosted by Jessie from Bowties and Books, and I really want to join and participate on Team Thriller, but I don't have any thrillers whatsoever. So if you have any suggestions, any recommendations for thrillers that are written by Black authors, then please let me know in the comments. But because I don't have any thrillers whatsoever, and one of my 2021 goals is to read more thrillers, I don't have any to show in this video. So that TBR is kind of up in the air at the minute, but I'm quite excited about it. Already I have so much on this TBR and we haven't even started the game yet. So let's backtrack just a little bit. So I want to go through the books that I have to read for book clubs first. Crap, I just remembered I've got another one to put on. I love how in my 2021 goals video was to read less. My goal is to read less, and yet my January TBR was 17 books long. And this one, I haven't even started the game yet. Okay, this is gonna take a while. So I have 4 books that I have to read for book clubs. So the first one is A Wolf for a Spell by Sutton. This is the February middle grade monthly book. It follows a girl called Zima, and she has been raised to fear witches. However, there is an attack on her family and she must seek out Baba Yaga for help. So that's all I really know about it. It just sounds phenomenal. I cannot wait to read it. Yes, this is February middle grade monthly book, so do check it out. But that's one. I'm also reading through the Song of the Lioness series by Tamara P.S. and this is for my patron-only book club read-along thing, and we read the first book in January and I really enjoyed it. So I'm really looking forward to reading the second book. The Song of the Lioness series follows a young warrior called Alana, and she disguises herself so that she can become a knight. This gives me kind of like Black Cauldron vibes a little bit. It's very swords and fantasy. It is... I mean, I really enjoyed the first book, so I can only imagine where it's going to go from there. There are gods, there's magic, there's curses, there's a lot of stuff in this series, and I'm just really looking forward to reading the rest of them. So this is my Patreon book club read-along book. Then I also have The Mask Fallen by Samantha Shannon. This is the 4th book in the Born Season series, and I am reading this for Bornathon, which is hosted by Ashlee from Frolic Through Fiction, and I kind of... If I don't get to this in February, that's okay, because I know the live show is sometime in March, so if I have to roll it over into March, I guess that's alright. I am really excited to read it though, so I might not end up doing that, but I just realised February is the shortest month of the year, and... yeah. But yeah, this is set in a world where clairvoyancy is outlawed, and our main character, Paige, she is clairvoyant, and in the first book she gets discovered. It leads to a whole path of revelations, and that's all I can pretty much say about it. I do feel like I probably need to reread the first 3 now, because my memory is starting to go a bit, but I don't have time to reread books at the minute, so... that's not going to happen. It's funny I mentioned rereading books because the next book club pick is for Wonder Along, which is hosted by Olivia from Olivia's Catastrophe and Sabine from Sabine's Book Nook. We are reading Wondersmith, The Calling of Morrigan Crow by Jessica Townsend in February, and I will be joining the live show for this one, so I definitely do need to reread this. I'm trying to reread the first one before January ends, but it might not happen, but I kind of hope it does because I'd like to refresh my memory from the start. But yeah, the Nevermore series, it's about Morrigan Crow, who is a cursed child. She's whisked away to the land of Nevermore to prove herself as magical in this wondrous society. That is a very short Cliff's Notes version because I recommend this series in every video pretty much. So if you don't know the series, do check it out, it's really good. But also the Wonder Along is being hosted by Olivia and Sabine, so please do check out that read along. Okay, so those were the book club picks. The next books I want to talk about are the books that I'm reading for reading vlogs. So the first one is Sex and the City by Candice Bushnell. I think that's how you say her name. But this this is what inspired the TV show Sex and the City, which is one of my favourite TV shows, and I happen to absolutely love the films as well. Like, I know a lot of people hate Sex and the City too, but it's just such pure escapism, it's hilarious, and I love it. But I really wanted to read the book so that I could do a little reading vlog or just a review video of me reading Sex and the City, because I'm just really excited. And the news of the reboot and stuff has got me excited again, even though it doesn't have Samantha Jones in and she's my favourite character. I don't know what I'm going to think about it, so I just thought I would do this anyway. I do want to parody Sex and the City a little bit in the video too, so I'm really looking forward to it. And it's the only reason really I'm reading this book is so I can parody it. But yeah, the show is about 4 women in New York and they are very different. I don't really know if this follows the same kind of suit, because a lot of people have told me this is not like the TV show at all, so I kind of don't know what to expect with it. But it's fine, I'm still going to have a good time reading it, I'm sure. And then because Valentine's Day is coming up, I really wanted to do a very steamy romance reading vlog again. I had such a blast doing 2 of them last year. In this one, I really want to read these 3 books. So we have Hothead by Damon Suede, and this is a male-male romance. Heard it's very smutty. It's about firefighters in New York, so yes. I also have Fortuna Sworn by KJ Sutton, and this one is dark fae romance, I believe. It's making the rounds on BookTube, but the main reason why I can't wait to read this book is because of Becca from Becca and the Books and Ashlee from Her Frolic Through Fiction. They have been raving about the series for a long time, and it's finally time for me to dip my toes into it. And finally, Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas. This is the 3rd and final book I want to read for my, let's just admit it, it's going to be a very pornographic reading vlog of me reading very steamy romance, because the ideas I have for it are, it's going to get me banned from YouTube, I think. But anyway, I'm really excited. This is age gap romance, and I don't know how I'm going to feel about that, but I did hear there are a lot of very steamy romance scenes in this. And to be honest, I need it. So yeah, these are the 3 books that I'm reading for the very steamy romance reading vlog. And finally, because I do play TBR right live with my patrons, and they choose whether I go higher or lower, I have 5 books again that I need to show you. So we only lost 1 round out of 4. However, there was 1 round where it was 2 books against another book, and I'm reading the 2 books. So there's actually 5 books I need to show you. Firstly, I'm going to be reading The Last Bear by Hannah Gold, and this one I think is talking about environmentalism. I think it's about a young girl who meets a bear, and they're the last bear, I think. This is an ARC copy. It comes out in the start of February. Very excited to read it, so I'm definitely going to get it read. This will probably fit in with Polarthon for maybe a Polar fantasy prompt. I don't know. I don't think it's fantasy, but I don't know. But I'm really excited to read it. So we won this round, so I get to read this. The round we lost was between House of Salt and Sorrows and Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. We lost, and I'm reading Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. All I know about this one is that there are secret societies within Yale University, I think, and then somebody ends up murdered, and it leads to a lot of action, maybe? I don't know. But I was supposed to read this, gosh, when it came out, really, I was supposed to read this because it is an ARC copy, so I'm really making the effort in 2021 to get to all of the ARCs, to just get to all of them. There is a little part of me that's excited to read it, even though I lost this round. I'm also reading Lie With Me by Philippe Besson, but this is translated by Mollie Ringwald, so I believe this was originally in French, but I think this is a romance story, and Jamie was the one who really recommended it, and he said that he cried at the end. So I kind of don't really want an emotional book, but this is really short, so I will be able to fit it into my February TBR so nicely. All I know about this is that it's about a famous writer who comes across somebody who really resembles his lost love. So, I mean, oh yeah, I mean, just knowing that little synopsis there, it's going to make me cry. I just know it. And then finally, we had the round where we had 2 middle grade books against It by Stephen King. Unfortunately, I won, so I am reading Return to Raw by Jenny McLaughlin and A Vanishing of Griffins by S.A. Patrick. Really excited to read this one because it's a sequel to A Darkness of Dragons, the 2nd book in the Songs of Magic series. I waited 2 and a bit years for this to come out, and it came out last month, and I need to read it ASAP, so I'm glad I picked it up. But it is in a world where there are pipers and they can play, you know, forbidden spells with their flutes or whatever they're called. It's been a while since I read the first one. But we follow Patch, who is a young Pied Piper in training, and it's in a world where there are Dracogryphs and cursed girls who are turned into rats, things like that. Really hard to explain. So I might have to do a little refresher of the first one before I read this one, but I'm really excited. And Return to Raw is the sequel to The Land of Raw, which followed 2 twins who went into this imaginary world where they thought they made it up as as kids, but actually turns out to be more real than they thought. And I'm excited to get into this one actually, because I really did enjoy the first book. But it's been nearly 2 years since I read the first book now, so this is why I need to start reading sequels quicker, because this is what happens. I start forgetting what happened in the first one, and then what's the point? So yeah, those were the books that I got to read after our Patreon live show, playing Play or TBR right live. So I am excited about all of those actually. I think it's going to be a really good month. But we're not stopping there, because we still need to play or TBR right in this game. So there will be 4 rounds, and these are all going to be for Polarthon to help me fill the prompts. So because I already have so much on my TBR, I've decided I'm going to pick between 2 books that I do want to read that'll fit the prompts for Polarthon. Because last month I put my hand into the TBR bag and pull out a name of a book that's probably too big or too intimidating, and that was how I picked between the books. So this month it's going to be a little different, so I'm sorry about that. Next month we will be business as usual, because I don't want to participate in any readathons anymore, and there's just not going to be as much on my TBR, I promise you, I promise you. So we're playing Play or TBR right now. The first prompt for Team Walrus in Polarthon is Cold Waters, which is, I think, to read a book that features water in some capacity. So I'm picking between The Language of Ghosts by Heather Fawcett, who wrote Ember and the Ice Dragons. Really excited to read this one. It is about an enchanted, magical, moving island, and I believe like a princess or someone gets banished there, and it sounds like Howl's Moving Castle, but kind of not. It sounds really good, so this one is the one that I really want to read. I'll pop it on that side. And then on the other side, I'm going to put The Lost Tide Warriors by Catherine Doyle. I do really want to read this one, but I'm picking between 2 books I want to read for this prompt, and just saying which one I'm going to end up reading, because I don't know. But that is a sequel to The Stormkeeper's Island. Actually, before I start, I haven't even told you what the rules are. So if you're new to Play or TBR, right, essentially I pick between 2 books by putting 5 cards between them and guessing higher or lower each time I turn a card over. And then if I lose, I read the book that I didn't really want to read. But if I win, I get to pick the book that I really did want to read. But in February, I'm just picking between books that'll fit the prompts for Polarthon. So usually the stakes are a bit higher, but so also the lowest card is an ace and the highest card is a king. There are jokers and they are wild cards, so they are both the highest and the lowest cards in the deck. So if I get a joker and I guess higher or lower, it'll just be right. And that was to make the game a little bit more easier, because it really kicked my arse in 2020. I get to have 1 swap per game as well if I don't like the look of a card, and I also get 1 life during the entire game, so I can only use it the once. So let's start this first round. Like, I do need to have months where I'm a bit easier on myself, because January was a very stressful month as well. So February, it's the shortest month and I need to take it easy. Okay, so the first card is a 2, nice and low. Okay, so I'm going to go higher than a 2. 6. 6 is very tricky. 6 is very tricky. I do get to have 1 swap, so I'll swap the 6. Because I kind of don't like the look of it. So let's swap the 6 for a 7. Oh, 7? Oh, that's not better. That's worse. That is worse. Oh, man. I'm going to say higher than a 7. Let's say higher than a 7. I do want to say as well that the wins and the losses do add up. And if I get to 20 losses before I get to 20 wins, then I have to play the Punishment Pyramid, which I played in December. So if you want to say how that went, do check out the December TBR. But I want to say higher than a 7, because I don't know why, but I just think higher. 8. Ooh. So a 6, 7, 8. Okay. 8 is crap and all. 8 is crap and all. Should I just say higher again? I feel like I might just say higher again. Please be a joker. I'm going to say higher than an 8. 9! Oh my... What? I'm at 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh my god, I kind of... Oh, should I... Oh, I don't like this. I really don't like this. I kind of want to say higher again and see if that's a 10. But a big part of me wants to say lower now because there's more chance of it being lower. Okay. I'm going to say higher again. I really want to push my luck with this one. I want to say higher again, see if that works. Come on. Let's see if I win the first round. Oh, no way! What the fuck? What the fuck? Because that was a 6. That literally went 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What the fuck? What the... Whoa. I promise I didn't cheat. I promise I didn't cheat. You saw me shuffle the cards. Whoa! Okay, I do get to read the language goes for the Cold Waters prompt for Polarthon, which is great. And then I'm going to take these cards out. I will not put them back in the deck. So the next round is for the Dive In prompt, and the Dive In prompt is to just read a book that you're really excited to read. So I have two options for this. So the first one I want to put on this is The Ocean Square Explorers Club by Alex Bell. This one is an ARC copy, and it comes out the start of February, so it would be really nice if I could read it that week. And yeah, so this one is a spin-off series to the Polar Bear Explorers Club, I believe. And it's just set in a world where there are lots of expeditions. In the original series, we followed Stella, who went on this polar expedition with her uncle. And in this one, I think it's more to do with the ocean. And we follow Ursula in this one. And it just sounds really, really good. So I'm going to pop this on the want to read side. And then I also really want to read Sky Song by Abby Elphinstone. This one is a little bit of an older book, so I don't need to read it right now. There's not really a time pressure on this one as there is on that one, so I'd like to read this a bit less than that one. This one is set in this snowy kingdom which is ruled by this evil ice queen, and I believe there are some people who want to fight back, I think. But I really want to read it. I love Abby Elphinstone. I think her books are fantastic, so I do want to read this for Polarthon as well. I think it would be perfect. But we'll see how the cards play us. Let's shuffle the cards and play this round. Drink of Courage. Right, okay, the first card is a 9. First card is a 9. First card is a 9. I'm gonna say lower. Say lower. But if it's a 10 again, I swear. Right, lower than a 9, it is an 8! Oh my gosh, that was so... Right, if this goes 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, I swear. I might say lower again. I think I might say lower than an 8. Yeah, I think I'll say lower than an 8. It is a 1! It's a 1! Oh my god, awesome, awesome. So you can't get any lower than a 1 unless it's Joker. So I will say higher than a 1, and it is a Joker, which means it's all cards. It's the highest and it's the lowest card. So that means this card, I've won either way. So it's great, it's great. That was a really easy round, and honestly I think something so, because I did so well with the January TBR as well, after 2020 was absolutely awful to me in Pleo TBR, right? Something's up. Something's up. Part of me doesn't like it. So that does mean I get to read Ocean Square Explorers Club by Alex Bell for Polarthon. So the next one is to read a book with a dark cover. So the first one I really want to read is Root Magic by Eden Royce. I mean, this is not polar fantasy in the slightest. It's not like polar-esque or anything, but it is a book I'm really excited to dive into, and I really want to read it as soon as possible. It's just come out, and I just cannot wait. This one is set in 1963 in South Carolina, and the two main characters, they get taught African-American magic, and I don't really know anything else beyond that, other than I just can't wait to read it. So, this is going on the side that I really want to read. And then we have Ember and the Ice Dragons by Heather Fawcett. So another Heather Fawcett book. This is a book that I don't want to read as much because it is a little bit of a backlist book, but it's fine. I mean, I do really want to read Root Magic, though. I really want to read Root Magic, so please root for me on this round. So this one, I believe, is about dragons getting hunted, and our main character is trying to put a stop to that. But it is set in like this Arctic kind of setting, so this would fit Polarthon better than Root Magic does. But I do want to read Root Magic so much, and that's actually really hard to say. I want to read Root Magic. Let's shuffle the cards on this round. This is the round where I have an intense need to read the book on this side, like an intense need to read it. So let's see how we get on. So our first card is a Queen, nice and high. So I'm going to say lower than a Queen. 10. I want to say lower again. 5. Ooh, nice. Higher. King. Lower. Jack. Oh my god, like, what is wrong? What is wrong with this game? It's getting too... How is this too easy? How is this too easy? If you watched any of my 2020 TBR videos, you would know this game is awful. But it's how is this happening? It's literally 2021 vibes, I think. It's like things are on the up, hopefully, fingers crossed. So maybe that's the reason. But I do get to read Root Magic by Eden Rice. It doesn't really fit Polarthon, but I don't give a shit. So the last round is for the Arctic setting, and I have 2 books that I want to read for this one. So the first one is Race to the Frozen North, the Matthew Henson story by Katherine Johnson. This is a dyslexia-friendly book, so it's really, really short, and it's the one I want to read more in this round because I need more shorter books for this TBR for me to get through it better, and I'm just really excited to read it. I think it's the true story of the Matthew Henson who discovered the North Pole, so this will be really cool, but it's told in like a fictionalized way, I think. And the other one I want to read is The Good Bear by Sarah Lean, illustrated by Fiona Woodcock. And this is on the other side because this sounds a lot like The Last Bear, and it's also set during Christmas time, which, you know, we've just had Christmas and I'd like to forget about it, not gonna lie. But it still looks really good. I love the cover. It would fit this prompt very well, and it would be perfect for Polarthon, I think. Yeah, the main character ends up coming across a bear who really needs her help. So it does sound a little bit like The Last Bear, so I don't really want to read 2 books that are too similar in 1 month. So I'm putting this on the other side. So let us shuffle the cards and see what we end up with in this round. Our first card is... it's a joker, so I can go higher, lower, it doesn't matter because it's the lowest and the highest, so I'll just say higher. 10, okay, 10. I'm gonna swap it. I want to swap a 10 and hope that I get another really low card or another really high card. So let's swap the 10 for a 6. Oh, fuck. Nah, that's not better at all. That is not better at all. So I want to say lower. No, higher. Yeah, I'm going to say higher than a 6. 8! Okay, nice. But not so nice because I don't know where to go from here. I'm going to say lower. I'm going to say lower because I've taken all of the cards out from the previous rounds and I'm sure there were a lot of high cards in them. So I think maybe there's more chance of it being a lower card. That's my theory anyway. Let's see if it's right. So lower than an 8. 7? Oh my gosh. Oh, right. Higher or lower than a 7. Oh god. Whether I say higher or lower, I still have my life. So we'll see if I have to use it. So higher or lower than a 7, I'll just say higher. No, I'm gonna say lower. Because as I said, there were already a lot of high cards. So I'm just gonna say lower. I'll say lower. Ah, fuck. Okay, I lost, but I'm using my life, so I won. I know that sounds like cheating, but I swear down there are so much better months where I've played Play Your TBR right, where the stakes have been high. But this month, there's just too much going on and it's too short a month for me to do it all in. So next month, I promise I'm going to be really horrible to myself and I'm not going to get away with anything, I promise. So that means I get to read Race to the Frozen North by Katherine Johnson. Sorry. Oh, Lord. These are all of the books I'm reading in February, which, honestly, I don't think I'm going to get to them all. But it's nice to have all of these options. And I'm definitely getting to the books where I'm doing themed reading vlogs for. Oh my god, I feel like I'm carrying a baby or something. I swear I'm not going to pick as many books in March. I really just got a lot here, mainly because there's 4 book clubs. There's books I want to read for reading vlogs. And then Play Your TBR Right Live, and then Play Your TBR Right Normal. Next month, there's not going to be as much, I promise. Okay, so putting these down now because they're going to fall. Right, well, I hope you enjoyed my February. I hope you enjoyed my February TBR video. If you did enjoy, please leave a like if you did and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know in the comments what you're doing in February, what you're reading in February, any readathons you're taking part in, any book clubs you're taking part in. Do let me know. And hopefully I will see you in the next video. Bye.